Well, let's discuss this story in more depth now with Nicola Perugini, who's a senior lecturer in international relations at the University of Edinburgh in the UK. Welcome to you, Nicola. First of all, I just want to get your independent assessment of the GHF. What did you think of it?
Well, the GHF is a crucial element, or has become a crucial element of the architecture of Israel's genocide in 2025. The GHF was introduced as a mechanism complementary with the complete dismantlement of UNRWA and United Nations distributions mechanisms. So the GHF is one of the key pillars of Israel's violations of the Genocide Convention, in particular those acts of genocide which are aimed at creating conditions of life which are aimed at destroying a human group as a group. So we have to understand the GHF as a complementary component of the genocide architecture. The GHF has operated as a mechanism that has exacerbated starvation by providing insufficient quantities of food, and it has been used by Israel in collaboration with the United Nations as a mechanism of forced displacement. In fact, the GHF distribution hubs where more than 2,000 Palestinians were killed and more than 20,000 were injured were located in the southern parts of the Gaza Strip, close to Rafah, and in the areas which were completely obliterated by Israel in order to attract the populations from the north to the south and implement what was ultimately the so-called General's Plan, the plan architected by Jorah Eiland, a retired general of the Israeli military, who invited as an advisor to the Ministry of Defense, invited the Israeli army precisely to depopulate completely the north and find and utilize all means in order to attract the population to the south.
And Nicola, just to clarify something, I mean, what you've explained, it tallies with the reports that came from insiders, from military contractors who reported arbitrary killing of people who were queuing up for food. Also, some claims that actually Israel had facial recognition systems in place, that they were using them to identify every single Palestinian who came and queued up for food. So my question is, we've seen what the consequences were, but was this planned all along? Was this the initial inception for this GHF was actually to do really anything apart from hand out aid?
Well, I think that the GHF was created in coordination by Israel and the United States. So I think it was very clear from the beginning that the GHF would have worked as a mechanism of low-gear starvation, and at the same time, as you were mentioning, a mechanism of counterinsurgency, because identifying people is one of the key means that Israel wants to utilize in order to separate the fish and the water, so the civilian population from Hamas. So here the big question mark is the relationship between the GHF and Israel's counterinsurgency plans. And here the problem is also that, from what we know, the United States has made clear that some of the key principles of functioning of the GHF are going to stay in place, even within new mechanisms which will be deployed after the closure of the GHF. And as we know, the next months are going to be months in which precisely through reconstruction and through aid, Israel and other imperial powers are going to try to implement counterinsurgency strategies.
Nicola, good to speak to you. Thanks for your time. My guest, Nicola Perugini, senior lecturer at the University of Edinburgh.